Come on.
All right. And guys, welcome back to the Good Vibes Podcast. I'm your host, Shawnta Lang, aka SLANG here. And we are back with part 2 of our health and beauty episode. We've had some amazing guests that are here on the show today that have talked to us about our skincare regimens we need to do to glow up. Miss Cherie Roberts with Unearthed Skincare, as she is glowing on set, as we all can see.
Yes.
We have Miss Cachet Masters, who is our master chef, who talked to us about the way of eating healthy and putting healthy things in our body will not only impact us on how we look on the outside, but our aura as we glow. And then we have Miss Stephanie Paul, and she's here to talk to us about how a little bit of makeup goes a long way, ladies. Mm-hmm. How about when you feel confident when you put on just that lip gloss and you go out into the world and you're ready to tackle the world with confidence, with strength, with feeling that you're beautiful from inside out.
Yes, love it.
And then, as always, we have Xander Harden, who captured us, captured that. He's going to capture those moments through photography, the pictures that he takes. So it's not just a moment in time. It's something that can live on forever. And our kids and our grandkids can see the times that we were living and the fun that we were having when we were young. And we can talk about those events and it'll make us reminisce back to where we were at. All right. And then we have our newest guest who is on the show. We have Dr. Loretta Wall. And as always, guys, please give me a moment to read her bio. If I stumble, it's just me. I should have brought my glasses, my reading glasses, but I'm going to try to make this work. All right. So we have Dr. Loretta Wall. She is a wealth and wellness specialist, visionary entrepreneur, speaker, coach, founder and CEO of Wall Wellness and Associates, and Lead with Love agency. Dr. Loretta Wall is a dynamic leader and visionary in the field of business, finance, and healthcare. As the founder and CEO of Wall Wellness and Associates, a preventative health and wellness clinic and telehealth company, she is dedicated to promoting holistic health and well-being. In addition, Dr. Wall leads the Lead with Love agency, a financial literacy firm focused on empowering individuals to build and protect their wealth. A passionate speaker and coach, Dr. Wall believes in transformative power of knowledge. Her mission in life is to add value to everyone she's in contact with. She believes her purpose is to use her expertise and skill to elevate humanity. As a devoted wife and mother, she balances her professional pursuit with her commitment to family, embodying the principle of love, compassion, and empowering in all aspects of her life. Welcome to the show, ma'am.
Thank you for that warm welcome.
Thank you. We love that you are here today because you can talk to us a little bit about you wear so many hats.
Yes.
And you are a mom, you're an entrepreneur, and you're a doctor. How do you keep it all together, ma'am? Give us some tips.
Not balance, it's juggling, but I just answer the call to my assignment. And, sometimes we think we have to just forge one path, but I feel like we're blessed enough to forge the paths that are presented to us. And so I just try to juggle whichever one is priority and then make dedicated time for my family. So
absolutely.
Some of the main things that keep me in line is scheduling everything. So my calendar becomes my boss. Yes. So when I say everything, it's like, okay, my appointments, my business training, the back office, but also I'm scheduling time with the family, movie time with the kids, movie time with my husband, whatever the case may be, so that I don't skip over stuff.
Absolutely. Because we wear many hats, moms, don't we?
Yes.
We
The job never ends.
It never ends. It never ends. Moms don't quit. We're always working, and we're always giving and giving and giving. And that takes me back to a little about what we talked about on this show is the importance of self-care. And how in order to be our best self, we have to make sure we are giving and pouring into ourselves and understanding that self-care is not selfish. And yes, I did say not. It's not selfish. In order for us to be the best mom, in order for us to be our best friend, worker, business, entrepreneur, we have to make sure that we are first pouring into ourselves and giving ourselves, even if it's 15 minutes a day, something that is for you. Like if it's reading that you love to do, if it's walking that you love to do, find time in your day to do something for you because it's important. And so I want to talk a little bit about the healthcare and how that works as a doctor. Like we say that in order to be our best self, we have to eat right. We have to eat healthy, and we have to have not only look at that, we have to look at mental health as well. How are we taking care of our mental health? As a physician, what are some of the things that you can tell our viewers that is important to them that they need to focus on when it comes to taking care of your body?
I think you're going down the right path. We have to take a holistic approach. If one part of our world, whether it's our mental, our physical, emotional space is down, the other suffers. And so taking that time to meditate, pray, to fill your inner cup, your subconscious with things that fill you up to make you happy and make you feel fulfilled, but also paying attention to your body. Oftentimes we put everybody else before us and we're the last one to get what's due to us. So making sure we're scheduling our visits with our primary care physician, or also listening to your bodies when there are symptoms. So if you have a headache or you're feeling super tired or you're feeling weak, pay attention to it and stop putting it off. So those are some of the things I definitely would say prioritize. Making sure you get your screening exams. So breast exams, colonoscopies, getting your blood work done. And just having the idea of healthcare is not just your healthcare provider telling you what to do. You're collaborating with your healthcare provider to pick their brain, to use their expertise, their skills, their research to collaborate with what's going on with you, what you can think about, what you're experiencing, the things that you're wanting to achieve with your health and wellness. So start there for sure.
So when should women start, doing the mammograms? What's the typical timeline? Or is there a timeline, or you just...
there is research out there that drives a certain timeline, but I think everybody is different. Every family history and dynamic is different. And so, for one, think about your family history and just collaborate with your doctor. But specifically, those who have a family history of breast cancer, you should be going as early as anywhere between 35 and 40. If you have a symptom, you're feeling a lump, or you see changes in your tissue or the changes in the way things look, we should always be doing self breast exams. So that is as early as in our 20s, even in our teenage years, to be honest. And so when we do our self exams, it gives light to when we should be seeking a healthcare provider about that.
Absolutely, and thank you for that. A lot of times, we in the Black community, that we kind of put off the going to the doctor or making those appointments. And a lot of times what I have found is like we want to do, home remedies.
Right.
We want to go with grandma. Grandma's home would just put some Vaseline on it or
go lay down.
Go lay down.
Go drink some ginger ale.
What is it? Ginger ale? Self-medicate, things like that. And that's something that a topic that we can kind of look into and dive into as well, because, we just kind of go off of what, we were taught. But it is important to see a doctor. It's important to have your checkups. It is important to make healthcare important in your life, not only for you, but for your children. So they see that you are setting that example of it is important that we do our checkups. We go to visit the doctor. If something's hurting you or bothering you, let's check it out. I don't know. Have y'all ever experienced anything like that in your family where it was like, kind of like, let's do it, you know, like remedy. We're going to do the home remedy and not go to the doctor.
Yeah. I think we all have in some aspect of life. We have definitely. Now, no.
Queen. My mom is the queen.
But also,
of that.
Don't Google everything that happens to you. Because Google will tell you that you're dying. You're like, it's like, oh, what's that?
Oh, you got
cancer. Oh, what's that? Yeah, you're not gonna make it. No, definitely having a physician in your friend group works well. And it's just if you need an expert in anything that you do, you need an expert. If you grant it or not, you'll pay somebody to make you a sandwich. You'll pay someone to make you a pizza, but pay someone to say, hey, you might want to slow down on that big back energy that you're putting out there. It's super important. So make sure you have someone in your circle that's looking out for you and not just trying to make money off you. Doctors are not evil people, but they're here to help. They're a resource.
Right.
I'm like what you were saying earlier, the whole picture of treating your inside, like eating foods, having the right nutrition, because that'll keep you from getting sick most of the time.
Yes.
Fitness and exercise, doing that regularly. A lot of times we get so busy in work and building a business, kids, family, all of that comes before that. But as we get older, we have to prioritize our fitness. Yeah. We have to. So I'm even putting that on the schedule. I don't care what's going on. At 9 o'clock, I'm going to work out. And we have to do that. Otherwise, you look up, a decade has passed by, and then you're 40 pounds heavier than you were. And you're like, where did that come from?
Right.
And then that brings on more risk for comorbidities, diabetes, hypertension, heart issues, that is harder to reverse at that point. So starting early.
Preventative measures with eating right, eating healthy, dieting, at walking, trying to get some form of exercise in every day can go a long way to help us in our future.
Yes.
Okay.
I think that's why I procrastinated. I need to get out there and back in the gym.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Make it a point. Look, make it a point.
As long as you're active, you know, I think a lot of the times we focus on what we can't do instead of focusing on what we can do, which that list is far more extensive than the things that we can't do. And so it definitely starts with your mindset first, you know, and once you make the choice to change your mind, everything else naturally follows.
Right.
Definitely.
It does.
I completely agree. And in a room with entrepreneurs, mindset is very important because in order for us to do what we do, you have to have that mindset, that driven mindset where you're holding yourself accountable because no one is telling you what to do.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nobody's coming to get you.
One of the reasons I ended up getting into finance is because I would literally be seeing my patients when I was working for another company before I started my own healthcare company. And people will be so unhealthy due to their financial stress or instability, meaning begging me not to send them to the emergency room, even though they have a 400 blood sugar, because that's another bill. Understanding that their blood sugar was that high because their insurance didn't cover a particular medicine. They only could get so many, so on and so forth. And a lot of times we look at health and wealth in silos, but they negatively or positively impact each other. And we have to prioritize how, if we're always chasing the bag because we haven't had a strategic plan to build our wealth and have a safety net, then therefore there's no time to exercise. There's no time to sit down and plan your meals. There's no time because we're so stressed and we're trying to do this, especially as business owners. You know, we wear all the hats in the business when in the startup. And so it's so important to, like Xander was saying, have a expert in everything. We can't figure out this health thing all by ourselves. We can't figure out business all by ourselves. We can't figure out finance. And so when we kind of get those people in our friend groups or find someone who's a professional. It takes the load off, and then eventually we see the freedom, the time freedom, the health freedom, and the financial freedom.
I agree.
I'm so glad you explained that, because it does go together. And so when I'm reading your bio and I'm looking at, you're a physician, you're a wealth coach, a wellness coach, it all ties together. And I didn't even think about it like that.
I started seeing it. I didn't realize it at first either, but you were like, you would talk to a single parent. It's like, I don't have time to work out because I have to get the kids and I have to take them there. I have to go to work, and maybe I have to have a second job because the bills have to get paid. That's financial stress that leads to
physical stress. Yes.
And it leads to the neglect of our bodies. It leads to us not having time to go to the doctor.
And then the unhealthy eating habits.
Yep.
Let's just go.
Because you're on the go.
You're on the go. Fast
Let's
food.
get takeout.
Let's get fast food every day.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So, that definitely makes sense.
That's just to kind of, like I know a lot of people with money and a lot of wealthy people, and they pay people like doctor and young lady and to get their time back, just so they can focus on other things. So they'll invest, 4 figures a month on, a wellness coach or 5 figures on a wellness coach or in a personal chef and a personal trainer, because they would rather invest now than to have to pay in their health later on.
Right.
So it's like, when you shift your mindset like that, like, okay, well, I'll buy this $300 purse, but I'm going to buy this $2 brisk because it tastes good, but I want to look good. And it's just like, well, at what point are you going to prioritize? Because you look good now, but 10 years down the line, those $2 brisks that you was drinking every single day, that's going to affect your health.
Right.
So what are you willing to do to compromise and to prioritize now? So that way you don't have to worry later on.
Right.
That's so good.
Yeah.
That's a good point. So, Dr. Wall, I asked all the guests to really break down the why behind what you do.
Okay.
Can you tell us the why? What motivated you, one, to become a doctor, which hats off to you. That is amazing that you are a doctor and that you went to medical school and you went through that, all of those tests in school. You tell us the why. What motivated you to do that?
That's a good question. Well, I think it started when I was a kid. When my family moved with my grandparents after our house burned down, I saw my grandfather, who was bedridden, be taken care of all the time. And the first sight of a person that had a career who went to college was a nurse. And I was like, nobody in my immediate family had gone to college, so I just didn't have an example. And so me seeing that person come in, take care of my granddad, I was like, oh, that's something I can look into, being into healthcare. And so that piqued my first interest. The other thing I can say down the line, seeing how hard my mom worked as a single parent to make sure that my sister and I and myself had what we needed to traverse the world a little bit better than she had it. I felt like, how dare I be mediocre? Like, why would I just kind of settle for less? And so I think I kind of became a hard worker, a big dreamer, and a person who takes action, because she led by example in literally starting a business and doing whatever she needed to do to change the trajectory of our family legacy.
Wow.
And so that kind of started me on my journey. Like, okay, if I have the skill set and the time and the vision, that I truly believe the things that we inspire or aspire to do is downloaded from God. And so if it's there and he gives me the opportunity to do it, why not
take action immediately before he take it from you and give it to somebody else?
Because I don't think I just dream up some of this stuff. Like a lot of stuff that we do, it's hard. It's not something that you oh, I'm having fun. Sometimes it's fun because it's your passion, but dealing with people and taking care of them at their lowest moments, or when they don't even see the best in themselves, that's a God-given skill and desire. And so that's what motivates me.
I love that. And it's definitely in alignment with everyone,
everyone,
right? Listen, everyone at this table, I said it earlier and I'll say it again, we are all connected. We all have been through trials. We've been through tribulations. We have a story. And I love that our story is setting your mind to do it. I love that our story is making it our purpose. I love that our story is being the example for our children, being an example for not only our children, but our communities.
Yeah.
And so we are leading by example. And I love that. Any other thoughts? Anybody else? Cherie, look Cherie over there. Miss Glow. She
got something on the inside.
Let it out. Because I've been talking this whole time and I just got quiet. No, I'm really interested in the holistic approach that you take. That's the thing that I look more. I want to hear from you. Like I want to hear how what's your holistic approach to being a doctor.
Okay.
Right.
So I practice in primary care, and so that means, doing your annual visits. That's one thing. But also when I talk to my patients, I am emphasizing and educating on your nutrition, your dieting, how much water intake you're going to get. Also, your fitness. Not just saying, hey, just get your labs. Everything looks good. Go on. No, it's okay. Let's look at your labs. What's off? What's okay? These look good. But I also want to make sure, what does your wellness look like for you? What does feeling good look like for you? And so if feeling good means I want to lose 10 pounds, okay, let's put a plan together to do that. And let's stick to it. But also making sure that when I say we collaborate with our healthcare providers, we're not just making it seem as if everything is strict. Okay, what's your advice? If you like chips and you eat chips 5 days a week, maybe do it 2 days a week, right?
Right.
Or if you like sodas and you drink 2 a day, cut it down to 1. And then replace it with water. Or if you like chips just because it's crunchy, find a crunchy vegetable that you really like. But also just doing it one step at a time instead of trying to change everything all at once because you're bound to fail.
Of course.
But then not shaming people for not being where they want to be, being understanding, being a listening ear, just giving advice that adds value to where that person is in life right then. But then every time we're having a conversation, hey, follow up with me if you have a question. But make sure, even if you don't get 4 days a week of exercise, try to get 3. But if that week you didn't get 3, next week, jump back on the wagon. And so we always have to forgive ourselves. We have to make sure that we're prioritizing ourselves, like you said before. If we do not prioritize ourselves, we won't be here to take care of the people that we say we love.
Yes.
So if it means for me in my schedule, literally on my calendar, meditation and prayer. Literally, Dr. Lowe's fitness. Literally, appointments. Literally, movie time with the kids. Prayer times with the kids. Movie time with that's on the calendar. Not only is that something that's a template or a blueprint, but it's a reminder. If I see Dr. Lowe's fitness, that's a reminder to take care of me. If I see meditation and prayer, it's a reminder not to jump out of the bed and get to running. And so some of those little small tweaks helps you to maintain your holistic approach to your life, as opposed to, well, I'm not going to pray. I got to hurry up and get going. But those things kind of help you stay on task.
I do that every morning.
I love that.
I really do.
Now I do meditate every day before I get out of bed, before my feet touch the ground. My eyes are open. Sometimes they're closed, but definitely yes.
Meditate, gratitude. Yes, trying to set your intentions.
I set my tone for the day every day without the negativity. I don't even see how people wake up on that, but every day is a positive thing for me. That's how I look at it.
Most people are doing it because they're not prioritizing, like you're saying. We're just going because
we're on the
flow.
Go, right? And we talked about that. Single moms, always being on the go. You never stop. You never have time for yourself. And you want to make sure that you set that. So if y'all don't have
sometimes you have to really do it, at night too. You don't want to go to bed with that angriness on you or that resentment or whatever you trying, that's harboring within you. You have to wake up feeling refreshed too sometimes. So
definitely.
I definitely do it at night and in the morning. I pray. So yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I read at night before I go to bed. I touch a book.
That's a healthy habit.
I touch a book.
I
I turn my TV off. I touch a book. That's me winding down.
Yes.
So I had my day, whatever it may have been, but now I'm shutting it all out and I'm taking time to myself. So definitely, yeah.
Another thing that I added too is I put on the calendar family conversations about finance.
Because we don't talk about it.
We don't. Very much
Every
write
week.
that down.
No,
Write that down.
Seriously, because you'll forget. Like you'll just.
You're right. I just had this conversation with my daughter yesterday. Yeah. She's 18. She just graduated. 2 weeks.
You got an 18-year-old?
Right.
Yes, I have an 18-year-old, guys. Yeah. 2. I have a 16 and an 18.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unearth. Get your unearthed product.
I need to see.
Yeah, I do. I'm knocking 40.
Oh,
I'm knocking 40. Yeah, I'm knocking 40.
We do good, I tell you that.
Right. Thank you. But it comes with growth.
Yeah.
Literally growth, because I was that person who was always going. And I wasn't just going for myself. I was going for my kids, for my family. So you have to take time for yourself. And I learned that myself, of course. So it's important. Yeah, definitely.
I love that. Well, one of the things I want us to do is Chef has brought her lovely drinks. I wanted us to sample. Like, you brought 3, so who's going to sample? I've already had one, so I know what it tastes like.
Okay.
Or you got cups?
some sample cups in the front of that bag right there.
Okay.
If you want to. I forgot they were in there. That front pocket. Don't be scared. Ain't nothing crazy. that flap right there. Open that front flap.
He like, I don't know what I'm getting myself into.
You see some little portion cups in there?
I
don't know how many there are, but yeah. So these, I had them in the cooler, but we've been sitting here for a little bit. So.
It's the stay ready. You don't have to get ready for me,
Right?
It's like, got your cup.
So I'm telling you about these now?
Yes.
Okay. So I have 5 flavors of 100% cold pressed juices. 2 of the flavors are not here. The very first juice that I made was a watermelon blend. That one is called Paradise Punch. It is made with watermelon, pomegranate juice, pineapple, and coconut water. So it's very hydrating, great for men's health, in the sexual area, great for women. Like I said, really, really good with hydration. The second drink that I have here is let me put it on camera. Oop, this is the Paradise. This is not the Paradise Punch. That's not the Paradise Punch. But yeah. This one is the Emerald Essence. This is our green drink. The blend is green apple, cucumber, pineapple, spinach, and ginger, and coconut water. 100% fresh pressed. These 2 are inspired by my children. These are both lemonades. Probably some of the healthiest lemonade you'll have. What makes this one blue is the blue spirulina. A lot of people do not know, but it is a substance from the ocean. It has, I believe, over 80 health benefits. So it's really, really good for you. Doesn't have a taste. It actually has like a sweet taste. But with this one, it's just the blue spirulina, lemon, spring water, and organic beet sugar. I did the organic beet sugar because we all grew up with the Kool-Aid and the white sugar. And for the longest, I thought that was real sugar. And so now that I've transitioned into this wellness space, I'm like, what can I use that's a good substitute that will not alter that sweet flavor? So I did research on beet sugar, and that's what I chose.
So now I'm leaving to go find me some beet sugar. I have coconut sugar.
Amazon.
But
beet sugar.
Yeah, it tastes, when I tell you it tastes just like regular sugar.
I never heard of that.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
And they're from, they're made from sugar beets.
Okay.
So beets, like the red ones and the yellow ones.
Oh yeah.
But it's a white beet. It's a sugar beet. And then this one here is inspired by my baby, and it also, y'all can't really see, but it has the Good Vibes by SLANG label on there.
Nice.
I made that customized. So
Thank you.
if y'all have any parties and X, Y, and Z, you want to add that personalized touch, I'm your girl because I print them right on the spot. But this one is called the Royal Blush. This is my strawberry lemonade made with fresh strawberries. As you can see, the seeds and all the good stuff. Lemon, spring water, organic beet sugar. So again, all of my juices are 100% fresh, natural. Oh, and I also have a apple juice. That one is called Raw Ember. I either use Fuji apples or Gala apples, and I add a Saigon cinnamon stick. People don't know about Saigon cinnamon, but it's really, really good for you. If you don't know,
sounds good.
Google it, do your research. So Saigon cinnamon is really, really good for you. Blood circulation, X, Y, and Z. The apple juice is literally the color of my skin. That's what real apple juice should look like. Not the clear stuff that we grew up drinking. Apple juice is not see-through. It's not. So yeah, I would love for y'all to try these. Sorry, y'all.
Yeah. Do a little sample. Well, everybody got a cup. We just you go just.
Well, look.
Or you can pour. Go ahead.
No. I didn't know y'all had a cup here.
Well, the cups are right. Pass those down.
Oh, well,
everybody over here got a cup. We just go pass the bottle down. Pour a little bit in the cup.
Again, it's not as cold as it should be, but
I don't even know.
Let me know.
Again,
what you think about the blend.
This is part of our health and beauty journey. We're going to eat healthy. We're going to drink healthy. Yes. We're going to make that our priority.
So let me ask you this. What's your take on organic when they say certain things are organic?
Boy. So when it comes to the word organic,
it's a sigh.
When it comes to the word organic, I'm still learning about like these laws. But what I do know is, in order for things to be labeled organic, they are allowed to, I guess, like in the growing stages, they're allowed to harvest in a certain way for a period of time that can mark it as organic. And then...
But that doesn't mean it's all natural.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. So I know I probably did not articulate that well, but like I said, I'm still learning a lot. So yeah, same thing with like you see stuff like grass fed and things like that. They can raise their cows a certain way for a certain period of time in order to mark them a certain way, and then they can just
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
This is. Did y'all get all of these?
Look.
I don't know.
I tried the green. I love it.
This one's delish.
I like this.
The strawberry lemonade.
Strawberry lemonade.
It's giving me healthy.
Royal Blush.
Yeah. It's giving me healthy. I love it.
That's fine.
Did y'all try the blue one yet?
No.
Not yet.
Okay. Oh, the blue one is called King Blue. So you can start with that one. Xander.
There you go.
This one, you mentioned that about how things are marketed a certain way based on the FDA and the laws and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. That's one of the main reasons we have to exercise because all of the foods that are available to us,
they're being.
That's what's kind of getting us to the early grave.
Wow,
because of all of the inflammatory things inside of the food, and sometimes it's labeled and you think it's healthy just because of the marketing, and then it's not.
And it's not. Yeah.
And it just inflamed every joint, every organ, every cell in your body. Now you're like, it's tough. So you made a good point about that. For sure.
And Doctor talked about the diabetes that's really predominant in African Americans. Is that from most of the stuff that we're thinking are healthy? And is it hereditary, like some of this, or is this what we're eating? Because some people say it's hereditary.
Well, there's this thing called things can be hereditary, but there's also this thing called epigenetics, and that means that your genes change based on your environment.
Wow.
Okay. Yes.
So sometimes people transpose epigenetics with hereditary, but it's the stuff that we're putting inside of our bodies. Like while we are alive, we eat foods that inflame our bodies. And the more it inflames our bodies, the more we hold on to fat, and the more our busy lifestyles keep us from being active. All of that stuff leads to our body not being able to process sugar and take it where it needs to be. And then that leads to obesity and metabolic disorders and diabetes.
I love that.
So being active is way more important than we think. Not just about looking great. That's a part of it, but the things that are kind of right there in front of us to eat and use and drink it's fighting against us, and we can't really, unless we have land and we're growing our own food, we can't really combat that. And the way to combat it is with exercise and activity.
Yeah. Yes. So you can play. You have to sweat.
Yeah.
You have to sweat. You have to. That stuff has to leave your pores. Right. You cannot. You know, people be like, "Oh my God, I don't like this sweat." Well, you have to if you want those toxins to exit your body. You're right. You know, and like just eating eating habits. For example, like I grew up with the Southern food. My grandmother's from Oklahoma. My father's from my grandfather's from Texas. My father's from Compton. My mother's from New Jersey. So it's like we grew up eating the Southern food, the soul food and all that stuff. But as I got older, I'm like, this is killing us.
Yes.
I don't want to, like, I don't so want all this weight. Yeah. Yes. Like, so all this stuff that I grew up eating, I do not cook as an adult. Yeah. I don't want that because I'm like, how can you eat something all your life and expect certain things to change within your health? Like you're doomed to be on 5, 6, 7, 8 medications because you've been eating pork chops and macaroni and cheese since you was 2.
I like macaroni.
Now you're in your 40s and your 50s and you're still eating pork chops and mac and cheese and all the stuff that you grew up eating, and greens and cabbage are the only 2 vegetables that you're eating, but they're smothered with salt. So they're all
with bacon.
You are getting no nutrients.
So
what are you doing?
And I get that. I also feel like I want to go back to like growing it, right? So a lot of us did grow up with that soul food. A lot of us, or some of us, grew up with it coming out the backyard. I could remember spending my summers in Louisiana with my great grandmother and her saying, go get those tomatoes.
But that's a blessing.
Go get those onions. And so she cooked with that. So even though, she might have made gumbo and had a squirrel in there, I ain't eat it. But she might have had a squirrel in there or something like that. But I remember that. And so it's also based on what we're taught. Right.
Yes.
So that
those learned
I think it's the basics. Like that's the basics in what we are taught and how we learn to also adjust. Right. And a lot of times social media has a hold on a lot of us because even though, like we were saying earlier, it might say this is gluten free. But if you don't turn around and actually look at what
is gluten?
I still haven't figured that out. What's chef? What's gluten?
Look, I'm still trying to figure out what's the simplest way to explain it to people.
Is it flour? I thought it was in the flour.
I'm gonna say this. That too. It's in the wheat and all that kind of stuff. But you make a great point. Too. A lot of this stuff, we have to remember it is multifactorial. Because you think about it. Most of our grandparents who ate all of that stuff, but they got it out of their farm and their garden, they were living to 90 and 100 and they did not have all those medications. So what does that tell you? That not only is it the food and how much you consume, but the type of food and all of the toxins and the inflammatory chemicals that we have, but also our activity. When they did have a farm and a garden, they were active.
And they were spending outside and hours picking stuff.
We're at the computer and we're working in one spot and we're not, doing that physical labor as much as they used to. And so all of those things compound over time and lead to disease. So we got to knock them off one at a time. Okay, let me get my food right. Let me get my hydration right. Let me get my this and that.
I love that. And guys, as we're coming to a close, this has been an amazing segment, amazing show. We're gonna have to do it again for one. But I do want to go around the room because I think it's very important for us to kind of think back to when I'm gonna say 18. What advice would you give to your 18-year-old self today that
don't talk to that man.
I'm thinking in my head like run.
To your 18-year-old self in regards to health, beauty, wealth, wellness. Like what would you tell yourself with all the knowledge that we have now at 18? Dr. Loretta, we'll start with you.
Oh, I would say, I don't know if I was exposed to it at that time, but I would say learn financial literacy. So much time has passed by and because we didn't know, we don't know, and we don't have.
Yes.
Wow.
So I would definitely do that.
Okay.
I was pretty on the healthy tip. I was kind of serious about that at 18. So, but the financial part, I was like, just getting it how I live, just doing what everybody else say to do, and not knowing anything.
Wow. Okay. Financial literacy. All right, Miss Steph.
I would have to definitely say, bring back to my tagline, enjoy my confidence.
That's good.
At that time, that I was kind of in a point where I just didn't feel like me. So I just didn't care. I should have ran from that man, but I just didn't care. So I definitely, should have enjoyed my confidence, been more me and more coming of me. So, yes.
Love that.
What I would tell my 18-year-old self, love yourself first.
That's good.
And not expect for everyone else to love you or look forward to that, because sometimes, we put ourselves in situations where we're trying to find, love in all the wrong places, whether it's food or in a relationship. And so we become codependent on having that thing or that person around. But when you love yourself first, you don't need any outside validation. And then also just believing that less is more in a lot of aspects in life. You don't need to have or to be in certain places or in certain environments where there's a lot of this and that, but just more so being in a space where you can thrive on your own and not have to, worry about, I guess, not having to worry about, other things, making you happy. And just appreciating, what you do have.
Genuine happiness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so for me, I was raised by women who always told me to be independent, never depend on a man, get everything on your own, and go out there and just
Drink to that.
do all of this. But I would tell myself that it is okay to ask for help.
That's so good.
Yes.
That's so
It is okay
It is
to not always feel like you have to be strong. It's okay to say, I'm having a moment.
It's okay to be soft.
It's okay to be soft.
Come on.
It's okay.
That is a good one to learn.
It's okay to be soft because I was brought up so tough and hard, and the expectation was always higher for me. I had to go to college. I had to excel. I had to do this, climb the corporate ladder, chasing after, all these different things. But I would tell myself it is okay to be soft. It's okay to be vulnerable and not always have to feel like you're strong, because it's very hard when you have to carry that burden. It's okay to give it to God and be soft.
I know. I do agree. So I'm gonna sidebar you and just say, get in tune with your femininity, right? I actually read a book, Divine Femininity, and everything that I saw in that book, I was masculine. Everything. So be soft. But what I'll tell my 18-year-old self is, don't stop.
Yes.
And don't let nothing stop you.
God got you.
Come on.
Come through.
Y'all, faith over fear.
Every time.
Don't stop learning. Don't stop learning, because if you stop, right, you're stuck. If you stop, you're stuck. If you keep learning, you're excelling. So don't stop.
Always.
Don't stop. For sure.
Yeah, 18-year-old self will be proud of you.
Girl,
yes.
Because I was wild.
Same here, girl.
Before we go to the man at the table, You made a great point. We have to, like everything that you guys just said from here to here, it's all about understanding self-worthiness. Sometimes we think confidence and knowledge and then what we do, taking action, we do it in silos. But true fulfillment comes from understanding on the inside that we were born worthy.
Yes.
Someone and something along our lives between age 0 and whatever age we are now told us that we weren't worthy, and we believed it. And we started operating in that space.
Yes.
And the moment we start prioritizing mastering our self-worthiness, we'll stop dishonoring our own self-worthiness, and we'll stop allowing other people to dishonor our self-worthiness.
Yes.
Love it. Yes.
Wow.
It's a book that I read a year ago. It's called Self-Worth by Jamie Kern Lee. Not to plug her book, but it's a game changer. It's like it really helps you to sit there and think, hey, I thought I was doing the thing, taking action. I thought I had confidence. You do have confidence, but if they're doing this, you don't get to fulfill.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yes.
Love it. Yeah.
Good.
To the man.
Little unorthodox. I wouldn't tell my 18-year-old self anything because I wouldn't be in this room if I didn't go through these struggles and trials and tribulations. Anyone that's tried to go back in time and fix a problem or save someone, you just create new problems in our present time. And as terrible and as hard as those hardships that we've gone through and those people that we've lost and let hurt us, and those lessons are what allow us to excel. So if you went back and told yourself, hey, don't go through this lesson that you needed to, because some of us are hard-headed, me inclusive. I would sit back and in present day tell myself like, hey, you're doing a great job. You know, we don't pat ourselves on the back enough. We're always living for other people and we forget to live for ourselves.
Yeah, definitely.
So going forward, all of those lessons, all of those trials, all of those hardships are what create diamonds. And I'm honored to be in a room full of diamonds.
Oh, that's sweet.
Okay, man. Thank you.
Oh my goodness.
That is so
Look
good.
at
That's
Look at Xander.
I love you from a man's perspective. I love that.
Look,
That's
with
dope.
heart. We even got Brian
That's
Starks in the building,
appreciative.
and I appreciate Brian. Everybody say hi to Brian.
Hey, Brian.
With Starks Technology Services. He's always been a supporter of mine, and I do want to shout him out. Starks Technology Services. Check them out where you can get all of your IT and cybersecurity needs and your education if you are looking to go back to school to learn cybersecurity or IT or even AI. Starks Technology Services will provide that for you. So shout out to Brian.
She plugged you all the way.
Right. And we're coming close to our time, but I do want to make sure everyone gets to shout out where the viewers can find you. Tell them, like your websites, your socials, where they can look you up. This has been an amazing episode, and I do want to do another part at some point where, Dr. Loretta, I want to talk about financial literacy that you're talking about, because that is, like you said, tied in with the health and wealth. So we'll start with you, Dr. Loretta. Tell our viewers where they can find you if they're needing it.
Right. So you can find me at my websites, wallwellnessandassociates.com or leadwithloveagency.com if you want some financial information. I'm on Instagram as drloretta.w, and my business page, Lead with Love Agency, Wall Wellness and Associates. And on Facebook, Loretta Wall. So if you need anything, just check me out and send me a message.
Love it. Oh. I'm Stephanie Paul. You can find me at IG at IM_TheLadySteph.
You can find me on Instagram at Masterful Events. That's MasterfulEvents, all spelled out.
Okay.
All right. Cherie Roberts. You can find me, my website with my products, unearth-skincare.com, and or you can follow me on IG at unearth_skincare. Find me. I'm here. The smiling faces.
You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at xcaptionthat. You can also find me at hardandforever3.com if you want to Zelle. Are we dropping cash apps too? Like, what are we doing? All of those things. But yeah, xcapture that.
Listen,
I love that. And guys, as we come to a close of another episode of the Good Vibes Podcast, this has been an amazing show. If you would like to book to be a guest on my show, go to goodvibeslang.com, fill out the information where you too can come on the show and share your story, your entrepreneur story of what you've gone through. We want to hear it. Our viewers need it as these amazing guests shared their story. Let's make sure we are partners together. We are all connected. And I'm going to end with the affirmations that we talked about at the start of this podcast. Our affirmations for you to constantly think about this week. And I want you to say them and I want you to talk them out and make it live and make it come to fruition. Beauty shines from within. That means taking care of yourself by eating healthy. That means making sure we're taking time for our mental health and that we're taking time to pour into our self-care. Again, self-care is not selfish at all. The other one is I radiate confidence and beauty. Confidence and beauty. Put that lip gloss on, as Miss Steph has. Put the lip gloss on, go out and shine and be the bright person that you are and make sure you're giving God the glory.
Yes.
The other things, I am a natural beauty. You are a natural beauty. It comes from within. Let's shine. Let's be bright. Let's be great. Let's be amazing. Thank you guys for tuning in to another podcast with the Good Vibes Podcast. I love you. We'll see you on the next one. Yes. Bye. Thank you. Come on.